Hello students, this is quadratic equations exercise 4.2 and this exercise is all about factorization. So let's start with the first problem. It has got 5 subdivisions and we'll do them one by one. So the first one, x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. So we have to split the middle term so that if you add you should get minus 3x and if you multiply you should get minus 10. So let's see how we can do this. This is fairly straightforward and easy, the first one. So this can be written as x squared minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 equals 0. So minus 5 plus 2 will give you minus 3 and minus 5 into 2 will give minus 10. So moving on, this is x into x minus 5 plus 2 into x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 2 times x minus 5 equals 0. Therefore x equals negative 2 or x equals 5 is the answer. So this is the first one. Now let's move on to the second one. 2x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Since there is a term, a equals 2, we have to split the middle term in such a way that if you add it should give 1 and if you multiply it should actually give 2 6 or 12, in fact negative 12. So we'll split that accordingly. So in this will be 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. So plus 4 and negative 3 will give 1 and 4 into negative 3 will give negative 12, which is 2 into negative 6. So this will be 2x times x plus 2 minus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. 2x minus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. So 2x minus 3 equals 0, or x equals 3 over 2 and x plus 2 equals 0 or x equals negative 2. So these are the values. Now let's move on to the third one. Root 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. Like the previous sum, there is one a term. So actually you have to split in such a way that if you add it should give 7 and if you multiply it should give 5 root 2 into root 2, which is 5 into 2, which is 10. So we are going to split the middle term in such a way. This will give 7 and 10. So let's do this. This will be root 2x squared plus 5x plus 2x plus 5 root 2 equals 0. So 5 plus 2 will give 7 and 5 2 is a 10. So which is 5 root 2 times root 2. So we've got this correct. And now this will be x times root 2x plus 5 plus root 2 times root 2x plus 5. You have to be a little careful here. So we'll check. So root 2 into root 2, x will give 2x, which is right, and root 2 into 5 will give 5 root 2. So this is correct. So we'll proceed further. This will be x plus root 2 times root 2x plus 5 equals 0. So x plus root 2 equals 0, or x equals negative root 2. Root 2x plus 5 equals 0, or root 2x equals negative 5, which means x equals negative 5 over root 2. So these are the two values. Now let's move on to the fourth one. 2x squared minus x plus 1 over 8 equals 0. Now let's take this 1 over 8 outside commonly and rewrite this as 1 over 8 times. So this will be 16x squared minus 8x plus 1 equals 0. So if you check this, 1 over 8 into 16 will give 2x squared. 1 over 8 into 8, in fact negative 8. So 8 and 8 will get cancelled, you will get negative x, and 1 over 8 into 1 will give 1 over 8. So this is correct, so far so good. So 1 over 8 times. Now let's split the middle term. So the criteria is, if you add, it should give -8, and if you multiply, it should give 16 into 1, 16. So let's see how we can do this. This is also fairly straightforward. This will be 16x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. So if you check, negative 4x and negative 4x will give negative 8x. 4 4s are 16. Negative 4 into negative 4 will give 16, which is 1 into 16. So this will be 1 over 8 times. And how can we factorize this? 4x times 4x minus 1 into 4x minus 1 equals 0. So 4x into 4x is 16x square. 4x into negative 1 is negative 4x. So this part, and minus 1 times 4x is minus 4x. Minus 1 into minus 1 is plus 1. So this is 1 over 8 times 4x minus 1 times 4x minus 1. So looking at this, it shows there are two equal roots. So let's find them. 4x minus 1 equals 0, which implies x equals 1 over 4. Similarly, for the other factor also, 4x minus 1 equals 0 implies x equals 1 over 4. So these are the two solutions. Now let's move on to the fifth one. 100x squared minus 20x plus 1 equals 0. So how can we split this? Again, it's fairly straightforward. So this will be 100x squared minus 10x plus 1 equals 0. So if you check, negative 10x and negative 10x will give negative 20x, and negative 10 into negative 10 will give you positive 100, which is 100 into 1. So this will be 10x times 10x minus 1 and minus 1, 10x minus 1 equals 0. So 10x minus 1 times 10x minus 1. Like the previous problem, these are two equal roots. So this will be 10x minus 1 equals 0, which implies x equals 1 over 10. Similarly, 10x minus 1 equals 0, which implies x equals 1 over 10. So this is the answer.